I joined ASB because a good friend of mine has done it for many years, and she kind of inspired me to give it a try, and also because I wanted to give something back on my spring break this year.
One of my friends goes to a different school, and she's been doing it since her freshman year, and she's really enjoyed it, so I looked into it at our school.
I joined it because I thought it would be a lot of fun, and I also wanted to volunteer.
Because I like to volunteer and help people who need help.
Today at the Boys and Girls Clubs, I expect to have some fun, meet some cool little kids, and just hopefully make an impact on somebody's life.
I think of a place where kids can go after school and just hang out and stay out of trouble, and hopefully find some good role models there that they can't have at home.
I guess an after-school program for kids who don't have anything better to do.
I think of a mentor program somewhere kids go after school to get help with their homework, to play, to have a safe place to go if they don't at home.
Do some homework and play with some kids, maybe play some different games that I've never played before.
I'm not really sure what I'm expecting because I've never really been to one in a city like this.
Make friends with kids and help them with their homework.
The hardest thing for me, I think, is going to be knowing what to say to the kids, making sure I'm saying the right thing, and actually making an impact on them and not just being another person in their life that leaves.
Hopefully I don't have any trouble connecting with any of the kids because we're only going to a different one every day, so hopefully I can connect with them in a short amount of time.
Yesterday I helped out the lady that brings lunches, get them ready for the kids, and then we passed them out.
I did a lot of different things. I helped some kids with homework, some of the older kids that were 4th and 5th grade.
I helped kids with their snack time and then played with them on the playground.
The girls were doing a dance-off / gymnastics contest for us, so that was fun.
I watched some kids dancing. They danced for us.
One little girl, Sierra, colored me a picture.
This little girl, they were playing with a ladybug, and it was crawling on her hands, and she was like freaking out, and then it pooped on her, and she goes, "Oh, it pooped on me!" And then she smelled her hand and goes, "Oh, my hand smells like booty."
I thought it would be a little more structured, but it could be just that Boys and Girls Club that we went to.
I thought it would be a little bit more structured, but hopefully this one today will be that way.
There's not as many kids as I was expecting, and I was expecting more structure.
It was still definitely hard and a kind of a culture shock to be there.
Oh no, not the kids, no.
If I wasn't told they were homeless, I probably would never have guessed. They were all well groomed and looked like they had clean clothes and stuff. The only thing that took me off guard was when that little boy brought a sandwich back to his mom. That's the only thing that I could have, I guess, told that he was homeless.
Not at all. You'd never even know if we weren't told previously.
I was surprised that they got, for their snack, it was an actual sandwich. I was surprised. I thought that maybe it'd just be a piece of fruit or a granola bar or something.
I think the most surprising thing for me was
they're in portables, which I've never even really heard of.
There was one little girl that was pop locking and dropping it, and she was only like 8 or 9, and she was like, "Yeah, my dad told me this."
I didn't really think it was going to have any religious affiliation. It didn't really bother me, but I just didn't think that it was, I thought it was like a nationally funded thing, not based off a church or anything.
I think how much the kids just wanted you to play with them all the time, like how open and loving they were.
At the Winter Park Boys and Girls Club, I hung out with this little girl named Michaela, and she drew a picture of a cat for me. She was quiet and she didn't really want to go outside, so we just hung out, and I played Connect 4 with her too.
I first was greeted by this little girl named Rebecca, and she was 7 years old, so I helped her do her homework, and then we played on the playground.
And those kids seemed a lot more well off than the kids on Monday.
And it was a little bit bigger than the one we went to on Monday, but we We basically helped the kids out with different activities that the staff had planned.
And then when we were out on the playground, she just kept saying, "I wish you were my mom," and I felt kind of awkward.
We were a lot more polite than any of the kids that we've met also.
The staff on Tuesday, which was the winter park, were, I don't want to say more attentive, but they knew the children a little bit better.
The winter park one, they were just in a community center because they're renovating they're making a new Boys and Girls Club for them.
At Wednesday's Boys and Girls Club was the Disney Club, so they were very structured. They had a lot of different activities set up for each grade level, and I followed around the girls of the second grade.
But it was kind of overwhelming at Wednesdays because there were so many kids.
At the Walt Disney Boys and Girls Club, there was one little girl, I helped her with her homework, and I watched her, she did some dancing.
I met this little boy named Jaden who was 5 or 6, he's in the first grade, and I helped him do his homework, and he was really sweet.
And there was like 120 kids there, 4 staff people. It was like not really organized.
It's huge. It's like a school that has a gym and a dance studio and a music studio and an art room and a teen room and anyway, but like one of the rooms was as big as the one we went on Tuesday.
The staff yesterday was like on their phones or arguing with each other the whole time, so if different kids had issues, they didn't really know what the issue was, so they would just like yell at them.
Well, the Walt Disney World Boys and Girls Club definitely had a lot more, they were able to go to different stations. They had an art room, and they had a dance room, and they had a music room and games room, and they had all these different rooms that they could go to.
Yesterday, the staff was like having their own argument while the kids were like arguing and not really caring what was going on.
And to discipline them, they didn't really have any structure, and they just kind of would yell at them or not care if they like ran around and went crazy, especially in the gym.
Wednesday, they seemed a little preoccupied and really focused on keeping the children in line because there were so many more children. They were still willing to help, but it just didn't seem like they were as ready to help or willing to help as the ones on Tuesday.
I think for the kids, even though the winter park one didn't have as much facility, there weren't as many rooms and facilities, they still the staff seemed to be more in tune to what they needed and wanted.
I'm learning to have a lot more patience with adults. Like, even though we're working with kids, I'm like getting really frustrated with like the way the staff is working, but it's okay because obviously, I mean, I gotta like learn to deal with that.
But they need to be like, you need to be patient with them and like show them that you care, give them some one-on-one attention.
I'm noticing that there are kids who really need guidance, and they need people to show them how to do their homework and help them with their homework. And they need people to show them how to play nicely and fairly. And
I think that kids are misunderstood a lot of the time, and people usually, I know there's a saying that children should be seen and not heard, and I think that's not always true. That sometimes kids have a lot to say, like adults just don't listen to them.
I'm learning a lot from the kids. They're pretty crazy, but that's okay.
I think honestly, like, well, obviously it's more room for the kids and like more things for them to do, but I think it's mainly the staff, like interaction with the staff and how much they pay attention to the kids that matters over like, kids don't need that much. They can run around outside, they're easily entertained.
I think that kids need structure. I didn't know quite how much children need structure, but I think that having activities planned and a caring staff are really important in helping the children in the appropriate way.
I think obviously a smaller amount of kids and more staff obviously works better, because on Tuesday the staff like knew all the kids' names.